Hi, I'm Grace Warrick, and this is my senior capstone. So when I first heard about capstones, I knew they were a huge deal, and it was my freshman year, and I thought I had to get started right away. And so I wanted to incorporate two things that I love, which are soccer and kids. So me and my friend Olivia got in touch with an organization called Emerald Youth, and we asked if there was any room, if they needed any volunteer coaches. And this lady texted us back, and she said that we could coach this 5 to 6 year old team of boys and girls, and it was like during the spring. And so we did that, and we were with them for about 2 hours a week. We would do practice one day and then games on a Friday. And it was just such a fun 2 hours filled with so much joy and love, and we just got to love on these kids. And a lot of them had really tough situations at home, and so that was just like their favorite part of the week, and you could just see it in their faces how much they loved it and how much they had fun with us. So we didn't really play much soccer because they didn't really understand what they were doing, but we got to have so much fun with them. However, as the next year, we did this for 2 years, and as the third year came around, me and Olivia, we just were extremely busy, and our schedules had really taken over, so we didn't have time to coach anymore. So I've always been involved with Young Life throughout high school, and I'd go to club on Monday nights, and then like on the weekends we'll go to Sharp Top sometimes, and I love Young Life. And so my leader told us about Frontier Ranch, which was a camp in Colorado, and we could go there for a week in the summer. And me and all my friends were like, yes, of course we want to go. Everyone always says like the best things about it. It says it's the best week of their lives. So we signed up, and like a week before it, me and my friend Katie, we were sitting there, we were like, why did we sign up for this? This is like our first week of summer. We want to be like home with our friends. Like, we shouldn't have done this. But anyways, we went, and it was the best week of our lives. Like, that sounds so cliche, but we had so much fun. It completely changed my outlook on Christianity and on God as a whole, and it just really helped our relationships with each other and with God. And so while we were there, there was a group of kids called the Work Crew, and it was a group of high school students that had decided to give away a month of their summer to come work at this camp and serve us and do all the behind-the-scenes work that nobody wants to do. And so while we were there, they were just such a good influence on us, and they were really selfless. And one night we were in our cabins, and 2 girls came in from the Work Crew, and they brought us cookies, and they were going to share their testimonies with us. And so while they were talking to us about their lives, I just kind of realized, like, wow, this is amazing that these girls wanted to come give back for a whole month of their summer. I really think I need to do this next summer. And so I talked to my leader, Hannah, about wanting to do Work Crew, and she was so excited for me, and she was just wanted me to do it so badly. So she gave me all the information and all the deadlines, and I got signed up. Me and my friend Katie signed up together, and then we had to go to training. So we went to about 3 training sessions where we had to share our testimonies and why we wanted to be on Work Crew and what our goal was to get out of it. And then we just had to wait, and that was honestly the worst part, because we applied to maybe like 15 different camps, but so many high schoolers want to get in that it's hard. And so like I would get emails every day. I would refresh my email, and it would say, thank you for applying, you're on the wait list. And that would just like break my heart every time I saw it. And so summer was getting closer and closer. About like the 10th wait list I got on, I started to give up, and I was like, maybe this isn't God's plan for me this summer. Maybe he just doesn't want me to do this. However, one day I was sitting in class, and I got an email from a camp called Carolina Point, and they told me that they had an open spot and they would love for me to come serve. And I immediately responded and was like, yes, please, I would love to come. This is amazing. And then after that, I just got so nervous, and I didn't know why. And I was like scared that I was going to hate it. I was scared what job I was going to get, because that's a really big part of it. And I ended up being on pits, which is like the dishwashers of the camp. So they just wash dishes all day. And that kind of bummed me out, because I really wanted to be a server, someone who would interact with campers more. But having to wash dishes all day, I wasn't sure how that was going to go, and I didn't know what to expect. But then my friend Katie ended up getting into the same exact camp as I did, which was crazy because they try to split up people from the same areas. And so that was just such a comfort to me, and I was thinking like that it would help me a lot throughout the process. So we went to Carolina Point, and the first day was really awkward, and just we were so nervous. no one knew each other. Everyone comes from all over the place. There was one girl from Norway there, and it was just, we were trying to get to know each other. But I met my pits team, and this is them. And we were all really awkward too because everyone was kind of shy and quiet. And so the first week of camp was kind of awkward and slow so our daily routine, we would wake up in the morning before the campers did, and we would have a devotion with our work crew group, and then we'd go eat breakfast. And then after we ate, we would go back in the kitchen and wash all the dishes from the staff, and then the campers would come eat while we were doing that, and then we'd have to wash all the campers' dishes. And we wouldn't usually finish till like right before we had to eat lunch, and then we'd do the same process again. We wouldn't finish till dinner, then do the same thing again, and sometimes we wouldn't be out there till midnight. And it was just really hard work. I didn't expect to work that hard. We were in the kitchen all day, and I was just really struggling and didn't know what to do because I wasn't having a good time. And that was when we realized that we just needed to come together as a team, and we really needed to lean on God because we weren't going to get through that without Him. And so our team started hanging out like 24/7, which we kind of had to, but even when we would get tiny breaks or we'd have meals, we'd all sit together and we just tried to become as close as we could, and we really did end up becoming like a small family. And it was really amazing how much we grew within that 1 week. And as we became closer, we became faster at washing dishes, and just the routine got easier, and it just became a lot more fun because we knew each other and we were just glorifying God through it. And so throughout camp, I really saw God everywhere I looked, because we would come in the kitchen some nights after lunch, and all the dishes we'd put away, and we'd be like so confused. And then the kitchen staff, which are the bakers and everything, would come up to us and say, "We wash your dishes for you." And that was just like such a small thing, but such a relief, because they're working so hard, just as hard as we are, yet they took their free time to come wash our dishes. And that was just really nice, and just small things like that. And then, so the last 2 weeks of camp, the first 2 weeks we had high schoolers, the last 2 weeks we had a group called Capernaum, which is special needs high schoolers. And so that was just amazing. And I'd never been around a lot of special needs kids before, and I didn't really know what to expect. But they truly find joy in the littlest things. They find joy in everything. And there was this one kid named Josh, and I remember after lunch one day, him and his leader came back in the kitchen, and he was telling us that he was really homesick because back at home, he worked at IHOP, and he would work in the back washing dishes. And so he asked us if he could come help us wash dishes after lunch. And so after lunch, when all the kids went out to have free time and play and have a great time, he came back in the kitchen and helped us wash dishes. And that was just really amazing to see his heart like that. So going to Carolina Point ended up being the best decision I've ever made. And I had the best month of my life, and it just really helped me grow in all aspects of my life. And I truly did make friends that have lasted me or will last me forever. I still keep in touch with my friends, and they just made me more grateful for everything I have and more grateful for people who work really hard. And the most important lesson I learned was how to serve humbly and how to surrender, because without surrendering to God that month, I would have never gotten through it. And that was just really helpful, and it was just really rewarding work, and I would so do it again if I were to do my capstone. And I do want to continue with Young Life later on. I'm definitely going to apply to summer staff next summer and maybe become a high school leader later on in life. Sorry.